Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the S.H.E Spot. We were doing the online coaching session with Rev Freda, but we are having technical difficulties. So, I decided to go live. Nothing stops a good woman. And I just wanted to kind of talk about the S.H.E Spot. Good morning, Miss Francine. How are you doing this morning? Are you doing well? I miss you a lot. I really do. Those were some really profound days. So anyway, this morning for brunch with Reverend Freda, I wanted to kind of recap some of the things that we were kind of going over in the S.H.E Spot. And the S.H.E Spot is sharing her experiences. I do believe that life really is an exchange system and that we all bring some good stuff to the table. And so if you haven't experienced the S.H.E Spot, it's every third Saturday from 7 to 9 in West Hollywood. And I am your facilitator, and we have some dynamic topics and subjects that we dive into. Last week we talked about traditional and untraditional relationships. We talked about polyamorous, which I am not, because it's enough for me to just deal with one person. But we got some great insight into what it means to be polyamorous and the different types of people. So today I kind of wanted to just talk about some things that I think that are very important in order to have a whole and healthy relationship. It's very important that we have the tools that we need in order to create the reality that we desire for ourselves. And so it's just so important to me that we get the tools that we need. And so I just was thinking about a couple of things that, you must learn in order to have a really healthy relationship. And so we're going to start off with just 10 points. One is, I want to talk about misunderstandings. Because sometimes in relationships, and we kind of get caught up on misunderstandings. And what happens is that when there is a misunderstanding, sometimes we push each other away. And we don't give each other the opportunity to sort of explain ourselves and to really begin to allow you to understand what it is that one partner is going through. So don't allow a misunderstanding allow you to push someone away, whether it's a partner or whether it's a friend. Things happen. I have been misunderstood lots of times, whether it was from my children, from my partner, from my mate. But that is the time when you have a misunderstanding that you need to be more open. You need to create that safe space, that safe spot, so that we can be able to come together and to explain ourselves. And so misunderstandings, we know that happens in relationships. No one's going to understand you all the time. You don't understand me all the time. But it is important that you create that relationship that you can get to get clarity. Absolutely, Cynthia, to get clarity. And not allow your ego to get involved, but to really step back and allow your partner to explain themselves and you not take it personal. Like a lot of times we want to make everything personal. Like, this person is out to get me, or this person is saying things about me, or this person is trying to hurt me. Listen, it is not always about you. And I know that's sometimes hard for you to digest, but the world does not center around your understanding. But when you have a misunderstanding, don't push each other away. That's the opportunity to set aside the time to sit down and to listen to each other. And the key to misunderstanding is forgiveness. Be ready to forgive each other. Another tool that's so important in having a healthy relationship. Yeah, and listen with an open mind. Not with what you think that person is going to say or you're trying to figure out, but no, absolutely listen, and don't listen. Some people listen but they already have the answer, or they're in their own head. They will not give you the opportunity. They will not shut down their own chatter to listen to what it is that you're trying to say and you're trying to explain. So yes, absolutely. It's so important that you listen with an open mind. Open up your mind. And the key to misunderstanding is forgiveness. This is what life is about. Like, we make choices, we do things, but not to hold that against each other. That is so, so important. Rhonda says, I'm working on forgiveness. Yes, without forgiveness in your relationship, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to go from one hurdle to another hurdle. But you really have to learn how to forgive. Another key, which I think is so very, very important, and that is trust. You must learn to trust your partner. Because why would you be in a relationship with someone that you really feel that they're not up to good in your life? I could not be in a relationship that I didn't trust that my partner was for my highest good or the highest good of the relationship. I could not lie next to someone that I did not trust. But trust starts with yourself. The only way you have the ability to trust others is that you must trust yourself. And how do you trust yourself? Is that you recognize that you've been in situations before, and in those situations, you know how to get yourself out of those situations. You know what to do. You have to learn to trust your intuition, your insight, that little voice or that little girl on the inside, or that little boy that is constantly telling you. But a lot of times, we don't have our antennas up. Why do you think after we get insight or our intuition that we ignore it? Sometimes we ignore it is because we want what we want. And when we want what we want, sometimes we ignore our insight, our intuition, our feelings, those things that are telling us, wait a minute, I think you should look at this again. So the more you trust yourself, the more you have the ability to trust others. So if someone is not trusting you, trust and believe they're not trusting themselves, because trust is an inside job. You have to know how to trust yourself. You have to know how to get with yourself. You need to know how you feel. A lot of times we don't even know how we feel because we're so caught up with the external. We're so caught up with other people's opinion. I live by this. Your opinion of me is not my reality. You have the right to feel what it is you need to feel regarding me. But I also have the right not to accept that as my truth. So let me say that again. Your opinion of me is not my reality. What's important is how I feel regarding myself, how I love myself. It says sometimes we ignore the truth. Yes, because we don't want to know the truth. We don't want to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we don't even know what honesty looks like. We've lied to ourselves for so long until we can't even recognize what's true anymore. When you and it takes courage. It takes courage, because when you have the ability to be true to yourself and to recognize your own truth and to be honest with yourself, that takes courage and bravery. Because again, we have been taught that we're not good enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not smart enough, we're too dark, we're too short, just all of this external stuff that we have gotten these messages, and so it makes it very difficult for us to be truthful and to be honest with ourselves. And like Cynthia says, sometimes we want to turn a blind eye. But you only grow when you have the ability to be honest with yourself and to be truthful with yourself. That's when you begin to evolve, and that's when you begin to grow. And to know that you have always done your best. You know, it's very difficult for us to forgive ourselves and to let ourselves off the hook. You know, we criticize ourselves. We always think that we're not good enough. We always take on all these traits of what other people have said. You know, I know for me, it took me a long time to really, really honestly love myself and know that who I am is good and all of me is good, because I got the message years ago from my mom that, you'll never make it. You are too easy. People are going to use you. There's no such thing as love. That's a fairy tale. I got all these negative messages from her because that was her story. That was her story. That was her brokenness. That's what she was going through. And listen, hurt people hurt people. Whew, that's a heavy one. But look at where you got your messages from. And if you have the courage to step back and look at the full picture, you'll recognize that they were broken and they were hurt and that they were doing their best. And that's all we can always do is our best. But there comes a time when you have to have the strength and the ability to begin to go inside yourself and comfort that little girl on the inside and create your own reality. They didn't know, and it's okay. They did their best. But you have the ability and you have the power to do even better. Now, it's also important within a relationship is that you let yourself miss each other. You can miss each other. You don't have to be codependent. I don't want to be your everything. I can't be your everything. Whew, that's too much responsibility for one person. So, even though we are in a relationship, we're still individuals. I need to have my friends. You can have your friends. And if I don't trust you, I don't need to be with you. Whew. And we don't need to be, or we don't have to be under each other 24/7. There's nothing better than when you miss your partner. There's nothing better. Because listen, when you go out and you have different experiences, then you can come home and share with each other. And then it's not the same old conversation night after night. And then there's more than just talking about bills and, this situation and this problem. But you begin to come home and share and say, honey, I was with my girlfriend and we did X amount of things, and I can come home and share. But most of all, babe, oh my goodness, I missed you. So it's okay. Let yourself miss each other. You do not have to be under each other 24 hours a day. Let me breathe. You breathe. You can breathe. And that is so important that you learn to breathe. Okay? Wow. I love being missed. I love when, you know what? The best thing in the world for me is I love coming home. I love it when I've been gone all day and I've dealt whatever I needed to deal with. I love coming home because home represents to me a safe place. Home represents comfort. Home should be a place where I can be vulnerable. Home should be a place where I can let my guard down and just really feel the comfort. Home should embrace me. So it's okay to miss each other. You don't have to be under each other 24/7. That does not represent love. That's codependency, and you need to know the difference. Also, it's important within a relationship that you encourage growth and change. Learn how to support each other. If I come and the Spirit has been speaking with me, and all of a sudden I get the idea that there's something that I want to do, or a new adventure that I want to have, or something I want to experience, I want to tell my partner. You're going to be the first person that I want to tell. I don't want to be shot down. I don't want to be discouraged. Please don't tell me, oh, here we go again. Because I know for me, change, I love change. I love adventure. I love trying new things, and I am not stuck. Listen, your purpose in life will change. With different experiences, and you evolve and you grow, then your purpose should grow. Maybe that was good for you last year, that was good for you year before last, maybe that's not giving you the fulfillment and the joy that you are looking and you're seeking for. So you have the right to be able to change, and you should have a partner that said, oh my God, babe, come on, let's do it. Do it. I support you where you are. So, encourage each other. It makes your relationship exciting. It makes your relationship powerful, because yes, like Rhonda said, we are not stuck. I used to tell my children every morning when they were on their way to school, the last thing I would say to them was, of course, enjoy, have a good day, but listen, just do it. And if you don't like it, just do it again, that you're not stuck. We are not stuck. There's nothing we have to live up to but our own passion and our desires that are coming from within. You have the power and the ability to change your mind each and every day with each and every situation. So know that you are absolutely not stuck in anything, that you have the power to make different choices in our lives. So if you have a partner that is not supporting you, if you have a partner that discourages you, if you have a partner that you can't even come home and share your desires and your excitement and your passion, I think you need to look at that. Because again, if I don't have joy within myself, it's difficult for me to give you what I have not yet been able to give myself. Because remember, and I said this earlier, hurt people do what? Hurt people. So again, in a relationship, let's encourage each other's growth and change. Let's learn how. And don't assume when your partner comes home, oh, how awesome it is for you to be able to say, honey, how can I now support you in that dream? Or how can I support you in a way that you need to be supported? Because listen, I need to support you in the way you need to be supported, not how I feel like you need to be supported. Whew, and it's sometimes hard because we put our expectations on each other. This is, how I expect it to be done. Or we put a limitation, okay, I'm going to give you this much time to get it together. And if it's not together by then. So not only do you have the fear of trying something new, on top of that, now here's this expectation, and now you need to do it in a certain timeline. And so guess what? You don't even get to focus on your passion and on your dream and on the things that you desire to do. So learn how to support each other. Ask your partner, how can I support you? What can I do to make this okay for you? I love it. Listen, I love going live. Share this with somebody. Tell a friend. Another thing in relationship is learning how to compromise. And compromising does not mean that you're weak. It's the opposite. Compromising means that you have the ability not to always want to be right, but to find out what will work for this relationship. Compromise. Whew. It's not always all about you, but compromise. Why would you be with someone that you did not want them to have joy, or you did not want them to have peace of mind. And the only thing that you have to do is compromise. In other words, it's not so much about the individual, it's about the unit, it's about the marriage, it's about the partnership. You don't go in, it's called a partnership. That means it's a give and take situation. That means, like I have to sometimes give and you have to sometimes take, and sometimes you have to take and sometimes I have to give. It's about supporting and compromising each other rather than what Rhonda say is controlling. Because, some of you girls are controlling. And control is nothing but fear. Fear. We're so afraid. And so we because we want a certain outcome. And so we try to control the situation. And that messes it all up. Learn how to compromise. Well, honey, I didn't see it that way. But if that's the way you see it, let me support you in that way. Because it's not about getting brownie points. It's not about always being right. Listen, you can be dead right. Right and all alone by yourself. See, if you're by yourself, then you're always right. There's nobody there for you to have to compromise with. But compromising is such a beautiful thing. It's trust. It's allowing your partner to bring in their insight without judgment. Without judgment. Everybody has the right to live their life on their terms. And you don't have the right to control, but you are there to support. So compromising is such a beautiful thing. But again, because we are so worried about other people, and what they think, that we don't know how to compromise and say, okay, honey, I'm going to follow your lead. That is so, 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 so important. It's learning how to compromise. All right. Another thing is, and this is really big, you guys, to admit your weaknesses within your relationship. Listen, we are not there to be superheroes. I'm not there to live up to what you think I should live up to. We're there to be able, again, to support each other. And when supporting each other, that means I don't have to. Oh, something's wrong with my speaker? Okay, let me see if I can find. Is that better? Tell me if that's better. Can you hear me better? Colleen, can you hear me better? Davis, can you hear me better? Okay. I think somebody gave me the thumbs up. Okay, so admit your weaknesses. Because I'm not here to be your superhero. And it's important that you recognize that I'm not your superhero. Don't put me on a pedestal, because the moment you put somebody on a pedestal, they will fall, because no one can live up to your expectations. I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to fix you. I'm not here to make your life better. That is not my job. I'm here to be, accountable for the choices that I make. I'm here to know my capability. See, that's the beauty of life. That's when your strength comes. Is when you can admit and know your capability. Now, knowing your capability simply means knowing what you can handle and what you can't handle. Because let me tell you, sometimes we get ourselves in situations thinking that we can handle it, and then we look up and we are in a world of trouble. But when you can know your capability, I'm going to give you an example. I love cake. I really do. I'm an addict for cake. And I love chocolate cake. Oh my goodness. Yellow cake with chocolate icing. That's my favorite. Okay. And so when I'm, trying to really eat better, I don't buy a chocolate cake and put it in my kitchen and then say to myself, Freda, you can handle that, because I can't. Even unconsciously, I get up in the middle of the night and I go and I slice the cake and I eat the cake. That's not my strength. That's my weakness. And once I know that that's my weakness, then I become strong. And I become strong because I don't buy the cake and put it in my house to tempt myself. Whew. Wow. The same thing when you know somebody's weakness, when you know that, this is something that somebody can't handle. The power comes in is that you don't tempt them. So in a relationship, when I get vulnerable and I let you know my weaknesses, I'm giving you that information just so that we can have a stronger relationship. Just so that you know that these are some things that I can't handle. You don't take that information and use it against me. And if you have a partner that takes your weakness and your information that you've shared with them, and they use that against you, then you need to reevaluate the situation. That might not be the right partner for you. Because I need you to see me vulnerable. I don't need to be strong at home. I need for you to see my weaknesses. I need for you to see the things that I can't handle. And for you to make it safe for me to be able to be okay, to process and to let it go. Whew. And isn't it awesome when you don't have to be the superhero, when you don't have to put on the Bat or the Catwoman cape or the Batman cape, but you can just really let your partner know, honey, I can't handle that situation. Now, there's another thing, and especially like for the butch, the butch lesbians, the tough lesbians, or, they come in like, saying, yeah, I got this, and they don't. And it's okay. You don't have to have it, because you're not here to fix me. I have to fix myself. We cannot save each other. Now, what we can do is create opportunities for each other to save ourselves. But we can't save each other. That's too much responsibility. That's too much. I can't save you, girl. I'm not even going to try. We can't even save our children. Because everybody has the right to live their life as they choose. It is our job not to judge each other. But it is our job to create an opportunity. And if that person chooses to walk through that door, then you have done your job. But I can't I can't figure your life out for you. I can't do it because I don't know your journey. I don't know all the experiences that you've gone through. I don't know all the pain that you've been through. I don't know all your disappointments. I don't know all your joy. I don't know all your mountaintop experiences. So clearly, I'm not equipped to save or fix you. That's your job. I will create the safe space in order for you to do it. I will be open and I will be understanding. I will be caring. I will be compassionate. But at the end of the day, that's your job. Now, another thing, sometimes you have to accept that it is what it is. It's so funny because my girlfriend, that used to be her statement. Honey, it is what it is. But she wasn't living it is what it is. Sometimes we say that, but we don't live that. Because sometimes it's hard for us to accept things for what they really are. Listen, everybody don't like you. And it should be okay. You cannot be going around spending your lifetime trying to make everybody like you. Whew. Baby, that's freedom. Some people, it don't matter what I do. Listen, let me tell you, when people don't like you, they don't like you. I don't care what you do. You can save them or try to save them. You can compromise with them. You can give them chance after chance after chance after chance. You can go out of your way and give them favors. You can do all of that. But at the end of the day, when they don't like you, you can do one thing that they don't like. And because they don't really like you, they go right back to, I never liked her anyhow. And it's so important within a relationship that you like each other. You know, love is sufficient unto itself. You can't add to love. You can't subtract from love. But now like is big. Do I like her? So, learn to accept it is what it is. I have gray hair. It is what it is. Now, I can dye it. I can cut it. I can do, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But when you accept it, your truth is beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is so true. Rhonda says, get up from the table when love is not being served. Wow. I love that. And I believe that. Because, listen, that's the thing that's so crazy. Why would you stay in something that's not for your highest good? Why? Why would you deliberately allow yourself to be abused? Now, you could have come from abuse, but there comes a time when you got to choose different. You got to love yourself. You got to protect yourself. You are accountable and responsible to yourself. Ooh, what, people don't like me, and I never, ever cared. See, that's freedom. That is freedom. And I said that earlier when it says, your opinion of me is not my reality. You have the right to feel about me as you choose. And see, listen, the cool thing about it is what it is that then you get to choose what will really work for you. But if you keep trying to make something or someone like you that does not like you, you never get to the people that really do like you. Or you never really get to create the reality of your life that you choose to live in. Oh my goodness. And that's a lot of energy. And let me tell you guys, the older you get, the less energy you have, the less time you have for bullshit. Ooh, did I say that? The less time you have for bullshit. Like, I ain't got all that energy for bullshit anymore. You like me, fine. You don't like me, fine. Because let me tell you, people are fickle. People are really fickle. People will love you, hate you, kill you, and then look at the way you died and love you again. Oh my goodness. So now you have the ability to say, you know what? It is what it is. Is that right, Ron? I'm telling you, they fickled. They are. I'm fickled. So if I'm fickled, you know, other people are fickle too. But when you love yourself and you like in yourself, then their opinion won't affect you. If something is bothering you, if something that somebody says really bothers you, you can't get over it, sometimes it's because it rings some truth. And you need to just look at it. Don't judge yourself, but just look at it. And heal from it. And keep it moving. Forgive quickly. Forgive quickly. In other words, people can't read your mind. Don't put expectations on people. People can't read your mind. Communication is key. Learn how to communicate with people, with your partner. Learn how to communicate with yourself. What conversations are you having? Some of us don't even understand ourselves, and then we expect other people to figure it out and know where we're coming from and be okay with it. When you have not even learned how, you don't even understand yourself, because guess what? You haven't taken out the time. You have not taken out the time to know who you are. What are your desires today? What are your desires? What are the things that bring you peace? What brings you peace of mind in spite of what's going on in the world? What gives you joy? See, listen, your joy, your peace, your happiness, your contentment, your fulfillment, those things come from within. And no one can give that to you. Sometimes we become predators. And we sacrifice ourselves looking for joy and love on the outside. But that's just not how it works. It's an inside job. And so in my closing, I want to do show your feelings. Don't hide your feelings. What you feel is real. Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Can't just say my peace is within. It's got to be. if there is no peace within, you go without. Because no one can bring you joy. It's too much. They can't do it. It's not what you get from the table of life. It's what do you bring to the table. And if you have the courage to be honest with yourself, and you have the courage to really stop and examine yourself, because it's okay to be driven. But it's just as important to know what's driving you. And if you're being driven by peace, then you will be a peaceful person. But if you're being driven from within by pain and hurt and things that you haven't resolved, we all have baggage. We do. You cannot be in life and not have baggage, because we've all gone through some things. We've all had some experiences that were not loving, not kind. We've all had those experiences. But it is up to us to stop and to begin to go within and to look at the baggage that we are carrying and to begin to heal. Some of us have cute little bags of baggage because we've been working on ourselves. But some of us are really carrying some trunk loads of stuff. So it's up to you to begin to go. You're welcome, Candace, because it is about supporting the unit. So listen, in my closing, this is the S.H.E Spot Live. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties, but a good woman, we keep it moving, we keep it going. And so because we couldn't do the Zoom, I said, let me just go live and let me share just some of the insights and some of the things in order for you to have a phenomenal relationship. So we started off with, as we recap, misunderstanding. Listen, things will happen. Shit happens every day. But listen, don't push each other away. And the key to that is forgiveness. We talked about trust. You must trust your partner. You must trust each other. Each and every situation should make your trust greater. Also, let yourself miss each other in a relationship. It's okay to be missed. You don't have to be under each other 24/7. That's codependent. That's not love. So it's okay. Get some good friends in your relationship. Get friends that respect your relationship and have a good time and miss each other. And then you have wonderful experiences. And then when you come back together, oh my goodness, you got something to share other than the same old conversations that gets boring. Another thing we talked about is to encourage each other's growth and change. In other words, learn how to support each other without putting your expectations and limitations on each other. So if your mate comes home with a new idea, don't start saying, here we go again. Don't discourage people just because you might not have the courage or the insight to try something new. Encourage your partner, support your partner, and ask your partner, how can I support you in this situation? We also talked about the importance of compromising, which doesn't mean you're weak. In reality, it means that you're strong. Listen, you don't have to be right all the time. This is not a contest about being right. This is about what will work for our relationship. So learn how to compromise and don't keep count. Well, I compromised last time. No, that's not compromising if you're keeping count. You can say, oh, in compromising, we seem to move forward. That's what it's all about. Again, admit your weaknesses. Don't try to be superhero. Don't be trying to save people. You can't save nobody. Save yourself. If you save yourself, you've saved the world because you are a part of the world. So don't get in a relationship and take that, caretaking position and you're trying to save him or save her and save the world, because you will crash and burn, because that's not what it's about. You're not there to be anybody's God. Say it one more time. Showing appreciation. We need more of that. We need to show appreciation for each other and in our relationships and not take each other for granted. and still be kind and still say thank you and still say, honey, I love you. When's the last time you told your partner, I just want you to know I love you? Appreciate each other. Admit your weaknesses, because that means you know your capability, and that means I'm not trying to be a superhero. Another thing, accept it is what it is. Some things, it is what it is. This is just who they are. And when you don't put your expectations and you accept the partner to be who they are, then you then can be honest with yourself and you can say, will this work for me? See, but if I put my expectations of what I think you should be, then I can never be honest with me, because I'm study romanticizing, thinking that, you should do it a particular way, and all that does is set up for disappointment. And I can never love you for who you really are. So, some things you accept. It is what it is. Another thing, learn to forgive quickly. Stop taking it to bed quickly. Stop holding on to it. It doesn't grow. Everybody has the right to, to do their best, and they're all doing their best, so, let it go. Communication, of course, is key, and show your feelings, be able to show your feelings, be able to be very vulnerable, and create safe space for each other, that I feel good in showing my feelings. So that's it for today. Again, this is Rev Freda coming to you live from the S.H.E Spot. The S.H.E Spot is sharing her experiences. I believe that life is an exchange system, and that we all bring some good stuff to the table. And so every third Saturday, the S.H.E Spot from 7 to 9 p.m. in West Hollywood. Now, I do have a S.H.E Spot Facebook page. If you're not already a member, a part of it, just let me know, and, put request for membership, and I will get you in, because the more women we have, the more we can support each other, the more we learn how to support each other, the stronger we become, because we're sitting on a wealth of information as women. We have information, and we are learning how to support each other. Only we know how to support each other and create that same safe, beautiful space, so that we can evolve and we can grow. So please check out the S.H.E Spot on Facebook. S.H.E stands for sharing her experiences. And if you have some experiences that you want to share, please feel free to share it in the S.H.E Spot. That's it for now. Thank you for joining, coming online, and thank you for all of your input. Thank you. I love everybody. I love you so much. And this is it from Rev Freda from the S.H.E Spot. Until we meet again, you guys be a great day. Don't have it, but be it. Let's talk again. And as usual, let's be better today than when? Yesterday. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye from the S.H.E Spot.